Morning, guys. Happy Monday. I hope you're having a really great day so far. I have my partner here, Bruno, that's going to be doing some yoga with us. If you have any props such as blocks or a blanket, then I would suggest grabbing something like that. A blanket, especially for underneath the knees. And then when you're ready, let's go ahead and we'll start on the mat seated. You can come into any comfortable position. I always like to start seated. It's helpful if you have a blanket that you can place underneath the sit bones, and then that just lifts the booty up a little bit, and it feels a little bit more comfortable for the hips, especially in the morning to start. So you can go ahead and try that. And then we'll start by grounding the sit bones into the mat. Close the eyes and lift up through the heart. I want you to put a big smile on your face. And just start to calm the body and calm the mind. So today's practice is focusing on the idea of contentment. So there's all these little jewels spread out through yoga, little life lessons that we can learn and become better humans by. And this idea of santosha or contentment means being happy with what we have and where we are. It's almost like the idea of finding gratitude in every moment. So the same idea. And so through our practice today, see if you can not seek after anything, not push anything, but just be content with how the body is moving and where you are. You can take that contentment off of the mat and start to recognize those things in your daily life that you can be thankful for and be happy with. And then when you're ready, let's go ahead and we'll keep the eyes closed, hands come together in front of the heart. We'll take our 3 cleansing breaths to begin our practice together. Big inhale in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale, sigh everything out. And do that again. Big inhale. Open mouth, exhale to sigh it out. And a final time, slowly inhale through the nose. Feel the pause at the top of the inhale. And then open the mouth, exhale everything out. And we'll seal the lips. Start to bring your awareness now to your conscious breath. Dragging the breath in through the nose along the back of the throat to give it a sound. And before we begin to move, I want you to find a moment here and think about what you can find contentment for in your life. So we're always looking outside of what we have, looking outside of where we are. In this moment, maybe you are content by being able to come to your mat this morning. Or maybe you find contentment in the foods that you eat, or who makes the food, or the clothes that you're wearing. So just finding a little bit of ease without trying to grasp or push anything. And as you keep that focus directed inward, we'll go ahead and start to make our way onto our backs. You can go ahead and leave the blanket on the mat if you're going to use it for your knees and just lay back over it. I'm going to go ahead and do that because my knees have been a little bit sore. And then when you come down onto the back, have the sit bones grounded into the floor, have the feet close to the sit bones. We're going to open the arms out to a cactus to start. So just take a moment here. Feel the heart opening. Feel a spread across the chest. And feel the low back starting to release into the floor. Big full cycle of breath here. And keep the left foot planted onto the floor. You'll hug your right knee into the chest. And as you pull the right knee into the chest, soften through the right hip. Rotate the right ankle or the right foot in one direction to get into the ankle. And then go in the opposite direction. Big circles here so we can wake up the foot and the ankle. And you'll keep the left foot planted. On your inhale, extend the right heel up towards the ceiling. Flex the toes so that the toes point towards the face, and you'll reach through the right heel. The hands can be interlaced behind the right hamstring. Feel the hamstring press into the palms, and then just soften the hip and the right glute down to the floor. Take another full breath, maybe pull the right thigh closer to the chin. Really good. Right ankle now is going to go on top of the left knee. You can stay here. You can press the right knee forward if that feels okay. If you want to go a little bit further, then maybe lift the left foot off the floor, interlace the hands around the left hamstring. Try and keep the left ankle in line with the left knee if it's lifted. And as you press the left hamstring now into the palms, feel the right knee press forward as well. Find a little bit more length through the low back and the torso here. Full deep breath in and a deep breath out. One more cycle. And let's release the left foot all the way down to the floor. Cross the right leg over. You're going to bring the arms either out to a T or a cactus. Hips kick over to the right side. Take a deep breath in, and then let your knees fall over to the left. Keep both shoulders connected to your mat. And then close the eyes here. See if you can settle into the pose. Release any of that gripping or pressing that you are engaging into. Another full breath. And then you'll inhale, come back to center, press into that left foot to square the hips with the shoulders. Step the right foot next to the left. Pause here for a moment. Bring the hands along the sides of the body. So you can keep the palms rooted into the mat next to you. You can grab for the outer edges of the mat. And then on your next inhale, you'll press into the feet and lift the hips. If you want a little bit of that leverage, then I definitely recommend you holding on to the sides of the mat and trying to stretch them out wide. That's going to give you a little bit of leverage. Your other option is to press the palms down next to you. So take a breath here, lift the hips a little bit higher. Keep the chin tucked in towards the chest. And then you'll use your next exhale to roll the spine down one vertebrae at a time. Keep the left foot where it is. Hug the right foot where it is, and hug the left knee into the chest. I want you to pull the left knee as close to the chin as possible, but feel your left hip softening down to the floor. Then you'll start to roll out the ankle in one direction, left ankle, and then go in the opposite direction. Really good. And when you're ready, left foot extends up towards the ceiling. Interlace the hands behind the hamstring. And I didn't mention this on the last leg, but you can do a couple of points and flexes before you come into the flexed heel. So once you come into that flexed foot, pull the left toes down towards the face. Reach the left heel up towards the ceiling. Maybe you pull the thigh closer towards the chin. Find softness in the shoulders. Find softness in your jaw. One more full breath. Then you'll bend the left knee, place the left ankle on top of the right knee. Feel the left knee press forward, a little bit of stretch in the outer left hip. And then you can stay here with the right foot. If you want to go a little bit deeper, lift the right foot, interlace the hands around the hamstring. Press the right hamstring into the palms. Left knee presses forward. Take a couple of breaths here. Find softness somewhere in the body. Can you just settle here and be with the pose? We'll release the hamstring. Right foot comes down to the floor. Cross the left leg all the way over. Arms come out to a cactus or a T shape. Scoot the hips over slightly to the left. Use your next exhale to let the knees fall down to the right side. Keep the gaze neutral, or you can turn the gaze opposite of the knees. And then let the body do the work here. Take a full cycle of breath in and a full breath out. Take another full breath here to come into stillness and settle. The next inhale, we'll come back into center. Press into that right foot to make sure the hips align with the shoulders. Left foot steps next to the right. Hands come down along the sides of the body. Press into the feet. Lift the hips nice and high. Either ground the palms down into the floor, grab for the outer edges of the mat, or maybe this time roll your shoulders under the body and interlace the fingers. Whichever pose or position you've chosen, keep pressing into the feet to lift the hips up a little bit higher. The chin is staying tucked towards the chest. And take a full breath in and a full breath out. Take another inhale, release the shoulders, press into the feet. And then on the next exhale, we'll bring the spine down to the mat, one vertebrae at a time. Nice and slow. Sacrum touches, and then bring the knees into the chest. Point through the toes. Pull the knees as close to the sternum as possible, and then maybe choose to lift the shoulders and the head. Find some length through the back of the neck. Take another full breath. You're going to roll over onto that right side. Left palm is going to touch the ground or your mat. Close the eyes here. This is where we can pause for a moment, find gratitude for our practice. And the first feeling of gratitude that comes into your mind, just take a deep breath to honor. And then when you're ready, let's blink the eyes open. Press into that left palm to lift up. You're going to spin all the way around, come into table pose to start. So I have this blanket right underneath my knees to help give my knees a little bit of padding. If this doesn't work for you, then you're going to come right into plank pose and lift the knees. It's a little bit harder, but it'll protect the knees. So as we all ground into the palms, rotate the weight in between that pointer finger and thumb. And actually, one thing that I have learned recently is that if you have a little bit of wider palm distance, so the wrists are still under the shoulders, but I'm bringing my pinky almost off the mat, and then I'm grounding my palms down into the floor so that weight is in between the pointer finger and thumb. Step into your plank pose if you're not there already. Keep the core engaged. Press the floor away. Feel really strong through the entire body. So this is not just in the palms. It's not just in the shoulders. Lift the heart into the back. Reach the sit bones down for the heels and keep the legs engaged. Nice, strong line of energy in through the back. Take a deep breath in. And then pull the hips up, come into downward facing dog. Full cycle of breath here. You can bend the knee, walk out your dog. You can come into stillness. Wherever you are, I want you to feel the sit bones lifting up nice and high. Keep pressing the floor down and away from you. Full cycle of breath here. You can always keep a little bend in the knees if that feels better for the low back. Take another full breath in. And a full breath out. Inhale the right leg up, look forward. We're going to plant the foot between the palms so you can kind of help it up there. Walk it forward and then put a bend in that knee so you have a little bit longer stance than you might normally have. I'm up on the fingertips, so I have a little bit more space for the body. Reach the heart forward, shoulder blades move down the back. Take another breath in, and you're gonna lower the left knee down. Again, if you need a little extra padding, you can fold over that blanket, fold over your mat. And then keep the back toes tucked for now. Inhale to rise all the way up. Find your low lunge. Sink down into the ball of the right foot. Lift the heart up towards the palms. Take another full cycle of breath. You're going to bring the hands down to the floor. Keep the right foot pointed to the top of the mat. You're just going to start to walk and rotate the left knee toward the left foot points behind you. You're going to keep a bend in that right knee. Inhale to rise up. Open the arms out to a T. So now we're in a modified low lunge warrior two, kind of a modified warrior two. That right knee is still pointing towards the middle toe. I want you to open up through the arms, gaze over the front middle finger, feel the torso getting nice and tall. Flip the right palm. On your next inhale, reverse your warrior. Soften through the right shoulder, gaze into that right palm, keep sinking into that front knee. Take another breath in and out. Right forearm's going to come down to the right thigh. Extend the left arm past the left ear for a modified side angle pose. Get a little bit different into the low back here. You still want to think about those bottom ribs rotating forward. Once you find that sweet spot, just feel a nice long line of energy down the left side of the body. Keep sinking into that front knee. Take another breath in and another breath out. Look down. Sweep the left hand all the way down to the floor. Come back to the knee with the foot pointing backwards. Right hand comes down to the floor. Tuck the left toes under, extend the right leg back, plank pose. You can always come into table with the knees down. If you're in plank pose, we're all keeping the heart reaching forward. Keep the heels reaching back. And then everyone on your inhale, you're going to rock the shoulders past the wrists. As you exhale, you're going to bring the front of the body all the way down. Untuck the toes. Keep the feet zippered together and then walk the hands in line with the chest. Hug the elbows in. Tops of the feet press onto the floor. Pubic bone presses into the floor. Lift through the back of the head. I want you to keep the eyes down so it protects the neck, but maybe lift through the back of the head a little bit higher. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Inhale to come down, tuck the toes. With or without the knees, you're going to exhale back into downward facing dog. Take a full cycle of breath here. Come back to your foundation. Look backwards towards your toes. Walk the hands back towards your feet. Come into a forward fold at the back of the mat. You can grab on for opposite elbows. You can bend the knees so that the palms come to the floor comfortably. Wherever you are, just let the weight of the torso lengthen the spine and lengthen through the back of the legs. One more full breath. Release the hands down for the floor. Inhale, find a flat back. Bring the hands to the shins or fingertips on the ground, but roll the weight into the toes. Chin is tucked so the back of the neck is long. Exhale to forward fold. One more time. Inhale, find a flat back. Weight rolls into the toes. Exhale to fold forward. Bend the knees. Inhale to rise all the way up. Palms touch. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Close the eyes. Deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Blink the eyes open. Inhale the arms up. Palms touch. Exhale, lead with the heart dive all the way down over the thighs. Inhale, find a flat back. Reach the crown forward, long neck. Exhale to forward fold. Bend the knees, walk back into downward facing dog. Spread the palms wide, root into the knuckles, lift the sit bones high. Take a full cycle of breath. On your inhale, left leg lifts up. Look forward. Start to help it between the palms. You can walk it forward. And then once it gets forward, walk it a little bit further forward. Sink into that front knee. Right leg stays firm. Reach the heart forward. Soften the shoulders. And see if you can just be in the pose. You're not pushing. You're not trying to accomplish anything except being here and connecting to your breath. Right knee comes down to the ground. Inhale to rise all the way up. Find your low lunge. Pinkies rotate inward. Shoulders reach down the back. Keep driving into the ball of the left foot. Take another breath in and another breath out. Bring the hands down to the floor inside of that left foot. Keep the foot pointing forward. We're just going to walk now towards that right knee. The right foot's going to point backwards. Inhale to rise up. Find your warrior two modified. Make sure that the right arm is coming out of the body straight, and then gaze over that left middle finger. Keep sinking into the ball of the left foot. Flip the left palm over. On your next inhale, reverse your warrior. Extend the left palm up to the ceiling. Gaze into the palm as you soften the left shoulder down the back. Open up through the front side of the torso. Take another full breath. And then we're going to come back into warrior two. Left forearm comes down to the left thigh. Extend the right arm past the right ear. Feel those bottom ribs rotating up so the heart shines more to the ceiling. And then find softness through that right shoulder. Full cycle of breath. Look down. Sweep the right hand all the way down. Pivot the knee back to center. Ground the left palm into the floor. Tuck the right toes to firm the leg. Step back into plank pose or table. Firm thighs, firm core. Take a deep breath in to press the ground away and a full breath out. Take one more breath in to grow long. And then the exhale is going to lift the hips and come into our downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths. Child's pose is always an option too in between our flows. So if you want, you can always drop down into child's. We'll just be here for one more breath. Look back at the toes. Walk the hands back towards the toes. Inhale, find a flat back. Reach the crown forward. Exhale to forward fold. Bend in the knees. Inhale to rise all the way up. Grab the left wrist with the right hand. Inhale to lengthen the left side up. And then exhale, lean over to the right side. Find a stretch along the left side of the torso. Inhale, come back to center. Switch wrists. Right hand lifts up. Exhale, lean over to the left side. Soften through your right shoulder. And take a full breath in and out. Inhale, come back to center. Extend the fingertips up. Exhale, fold forward all the way down over the thighs. Inhale, find a flat back. Reach the head forward. Exhale to forward fold. Bend the knees. Walk back into plank pose. Into downward facing dog. Once you get into downward facing dog, press the mat down and forward. Lift the sit bones nice and high. Take another full cycle of breath here. And we're going to inhale the right leg up. Look forward. Plant the foot between the palms. Spiral the left heel down. Tuck the right sit bone underneath the hip, and then when you're ready, windmill up, warrior two. So we've already been here, but now we're standing. Scoop that glute under again so that the knee points towards the middle toe. Open up through the chest. Gaze over your front middle finger. Take a full cycle here. Flip your right palm. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Sink down into that front knee. Soften through your right shoulder. Collarbone moves away from the chin. Take another breath in and out. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Exhale to bring that forearm down to the right thigh. Left arm is going to shoot right past the left ear. Rotate the bottom ribs up. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Look down. Left hand's going to come all the way down to the ground. Start to walk the hands towards center. Straighten the legs. Parallel the feet to the short edges of the mat. Inhale to come up halfway. Roll the weight into the toes. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Exhale to forward fold. Going to start to walk to the back of the mat. Pivot the left toes to the back. Keep that right foot where it is. Sink into the left knee. When you're ready, we're going to use the right arm to windmill up. Fingertips extend away from one another. Soften the shoulders down the back. Left glute scoops underneath the hip. Knee points towards the middle toe. Soften here. On your next inhale, you'll flip the left palm. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Open up through the front side of the body. Gaze into the left palm. Keep sinking deeply into that left knee. Inhale to come back into warrior two. Left forearm to the left thigh. Right arm shoots past the right ear. Rotate the bottom ribs up. Both feet are sealed evenly to the mat. Take another full cycle of breath. Really nice. Right hand's going to come all the way down to the floor. Start to walk back into center, but I want you to bring the heels in this time. Toes point out. As you come up, we'll come into goddess pose. Drop the sit bones. Knees point out towards the pinky side toe of the foot, and then bring the arms out to your cactus pose. Sink a little bit deeper. Feel the inner thighs opening. Whew, it's a good one. Good little stretch here through the glutes. See if you can sink a little bit deeper. Find that 90-degree angle with the knees. Take another breath. Lift up through the heart. Full cycle of breath. Nice. Keep the legs where they are. Hands come to the hips. Now let's inhale to straighten. Maybe shake the hips from side to side. And then you're going to point those right toes to the front of the mat. Put a little bend in that left knee and spring to the top of the mat. Find mountain pose. Palms are along the sides of the body. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Use your inhale to sweep the arms up. Palms touch overhead. Exhale to lead with the heart. Dive down over the thighs. Forward fold. Inhale, find a flat back. Hands come to the shins. Reach the crown forward. Exhale to forward fold. Bend the knees. Plant your palms. Step back into plank pose. Final plank pose. Keep the core engaged here. Keep the legs firm. On your inhale, let's rock the shoulders past the wrists. When you exhale, we'll lower all the way down. See if the hips can be the last to touch. Untuck the toes. Inhale for baby cobra. Keep the hands in line with the chest. And then exhale, forward fold. Roll over onto your back. Bring the knees into the chest. So once we come back to the floor, feel that energy start to release. Can you let any of the tension or gripping in the body start to soften even more? Keep the knees where they are. Open the arms out to a T or a cactus. And then we'll let the knees fall down to the right. Maybe place that right hand on top of the left thigh to encourage the knees down. Both shoulders stay connected to the floor. Take a full breath. Inhale, come back into center with the knees. Use your exhale to let the knees fall now over to the left side. Left hand can come on top of the right thigh. Keep both shoulders planted onto the mat. Full cycle of breath. You'll use your inhale to come back into center. Place the feet onto the floor just so that the hips square up with the shoulders, and then let the knees fall out to the side, bound angle. Hands come to the belly. And take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. You can keep the feet where they are, or maybe extend the legs out straight to the corners of the mat. You can bring the hands along the sides of the body and just take a couple of breaths here. And feel the entire back side of the body starting to relax into the floor. And you know you're going to eventually move in a couple of moments. So can you get nice and still now? Can you let the mind start to quiet? Let the body be supported by the space that you're practicing in. I'll just take 2 more breaths. Inhale to sweep the arms up and overhead. Point and flex through the toes. You can extend the arms up. And then walk the soles of the feet in. Roll over onto your right side one last time. Left palm comes to the floor or to your mat. And then now with an open heart and an open mind, gratitude should be much easier to find. So take a full breath here, letting the heart and the soul come to whatever makes the heart sing. Eyes are going to stay closed. Press into the palms to lift the torso. Come back into your comfortable seated position. Rock the sit bones from side to side. And then bring the hands together in front of the heart. 3 cleansing breaths to end our practice. All together. Take a deep inhale in. Open the mouth, sigh it out. Again, inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. And a final time, inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And then when you're ready, you can lift the chin and blink the eyes open. Namaste. Oh, good practice today, guys. I hope that you were able to work through that practice and find contentment through all of your poses. Just remember that contentment is being happy with where we are and what we have. We're not searching outside of that. So maybe this week, maybe especially today, we focus on the things that we have and the happiness that we can cultivate from what we already have. I hope you have a really great day. I am going to be gone on Friday. I won't be teaching online, so I'll just see you guys on Wednesday at 9 a.m. But if you have any questions, you can always feel free to reach out to me. Have a really great day.